Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique and welcome to Medora Budgets. I like to thank anybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So excuse me, if you are rocking with me on this journey, Lord, where are my sheets? Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets, married with a whole bunch of kids, trying to figure out our future family and finances so the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact them in the future. Today is Tuesday, December the 10th. We're here to do a budget closeout for the last paycheck cycle and a budget with me for this coming paycheck cycle. I am going to come over here to Big Bertha. And we're going to go ahead and start marking some things off. I've got, what did we do? So I got paid on November the 29th. But this is going to be used mainly for the December paycheck month, financial month. All of those have cleared. And Verizon has cleared as well. And I went ahead and paid AT&T early, so that one is done as well. So we are good. We are moving into the rest of December. So I get paid on Friday, December the 13th. Today is the 10th. And I got all of these and the water. I keep checking the water account because I'm trying to make sure that this has gone back down to normal. Remember, this was steadily going up. That's what clued me in that there might be a problem. We had people to come out, found out there was a water line issue. So now that it's resolved, last month's bill was $67, $68. I'm used to seeing a $25 bill, but the majority of October, which is the November bill that I was paying for, the majority of October, it was broken. The leak was there. So my hope is, because that was taken care of on October the 24th or 26th, somewhere up in there, I should have a full clean month of November that now will reflect on this December bill. So I'm waiting to see. And my hope, I put $40 there. That is higher than typical. It's supposed to be about $25, but we shall see. And I'm hoping it goes back to normal. If it is not back to normal, if I still have a high bill, got to get somebody else out here because there may still be a problem. All right. Kohl's, Green Sky, Rose to Go's coming out of this check, Best Buy as well, and the City card also. So those are all of the things that I'm going to try and take care of for this coming paycheck cycle. Next, I did go in and do a messy budget. So I'm going to go in, scooch on in here a little bit. And remember, I'm now using a digital planner that will outline for me the categories a little differently than what I was keeping track of before. Before, I was just keeping track of one group for bills, one group for variable, and then one group for savings. But this is going to be a little bit different because now these categories are going to look different, which means for me, where this money is going to pull from is going to look different as well. So with that said, I did go in and do for December 13th, the 27th, the 10th, and the 24th. And I had to do some finagling. I did all of that off camera instead of doing one for you guys. But it's because I had to figure out where these categories were going to fall and how I was going to look at things differently going into 2025, knowing that I wanted to do my categories differently and I wanted to do where this money was coming from differently as well. So with that said, and I got to sneeze, y'all. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So December the 13th check. So what you'll see here is all of the bills coming out as I anticipated them coming. I am paying city $200 out of my bills account instead of halving this up. At first I was going to do about $150 out of here and then $50 out of my variable account. I'm going to do it all out of the bills, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm expecting my water to come in at $40. It might be cheaper than that. Everything else is what you're normally used to seeing. My auto payment, because I do a split bill and I paid 3 times in November, it's only $80 something that I think is due. So that's all I'm going to pay is like $100 for the auto instead of paying a full $255. But I'll be back to doing the $255 after this paycheck. For my high priority sinking funds, the things that trip me up the most and where I wanted to always make sure I'm contributing money, I am now only going to have 3 out of the 6 that I pay for that's included along with the money that comes out of my bills account. So remember, I have $1,375 that goes into my bills account. The way that I'm going to do it now is I've reduced my high priority sinking funds down from 6 to 3 that come out of the money in the bills account. So what I'll do is figure out how much my bills are, write that amount down, subtract that from the $1,375. So all of these bills together equal $1,010. So $1,375 minus $1,010 equals, that left me with $365. Property insurance and subscriptions always has to get their amount. Property insurance has to get 80, subscriptions has to get 120. Once I subtract that, that's 200. That left me with $165 left. So I'm putting 150 of that into buffer. And that's why I have a $15 difference there. So 150, that means I should have $15 difference. So you see here, I have a total of $1,360. That's the 1010 plus the 350 equals 1,360 minus 13 from 1,375 leaves you the $15. So that's the way I'm going to do it going forward. Make sure that my bills are taken care of. Whatever's left goes into my high priority sinking funds, just these three. Property insurance will always get 80. Subscriptions will always get 120. And then whatever's left over goes into buffer. Now, my subscriptions will start to be a little bit lower, but right now I'm leaving it the way that it is. I was able to capitalize on the Black Friday sale for Disney, Hulu, ESPN combo. I was paying $21.99 or $20.99 just for Disney, and now I have Disney and Hulu at $2.99 a month for a year. What Sweets and I do is I just signed up for that. I used my email address for that promo, and I got it. He canceled his Disney this year, the one that's $20.99. He canceled that for his email address. Our hope is next year he will get a note that says, hey, come back and you can get Disney for $2.99. Then he'll sign up and I'll I'll cancel mine. And we just keep doing it back and forth. And that's how we've been able to get cheaper rates. So let's hope that it works continually in the future as well. So I know my subscriptions will go down some, but I don't know by how much. So I'm going to still keep it at 120 right now, but I think that that's going to get a little bit cheaper. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, and I did that for all 4 checks as I was doing my future planning on that. I did it for all 4 checks, and you'll notice here, for example, for January the 24th, when I wrote out all the bills that I have to take care of, it totaled $1,087. Part of that reason is because the electric bill is not going down. I got a whole lot of people living in this house, y'all. And normally by now my electric bill, like for this next month, would have been like 102 or something like that. It's still at 150. So I still have to manage it at 150. And because of that, this was a little bit higher. So when I subtracted $1,375 from 1087, that only left $288. When I take away property insurance and subscriptions at $200, that left $88 for buffer. So that's why buffer only gets $80. My hope is that something else comes in that is cheaper than what I'm expecting, especially the water bill, and that I'll be able to give more here, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. But this felt the best for me to do at this point, and just have these 3 main high priority sinking funds coming out of the bills money. So now you may ask, well, then what are you going to do with the other 3 that you had? It was bonus kids, Xerxes, and emergency. All of those are now part of the variable money that I have, which is roughly about $950 that goes into my variable account. So first, we'll have regular variable expenses. That will be a total of $550. That's going to be $220 for groceries, $80 for gas, $60 for home, $60 for dining, $50 for meds, $40 for Corinne. That's $20 a week for her allowance. That gives me $510. Oh, can y'all see that? Okay, that gives me $510. I'm also adding the bonus kids, which was $20, and Xerxes, which was $20, which is $40. So you add that to the $510, and that's how you come up with $550. So just know That variable includes all of my variable expenses, Corinne's allowance, and bonus kids and Xerxes, giving to all of those. Still going to give my $140 for Monday Mini. Still staying at $100 for the 100 envelope challenge. Between class dues and emergency, this is what I worked out the last time we did a budget with me video. Between class dues and emergency, one paycheck will go towards class dues. The other paycheck will go towards emergency. And then once the class dues are over, that should be April of 2025. Is when I should be finished paying for those. It'll continually go towards emergency. Little Bean is going to get $10 in his new binder in one envelope for savings, and I hope that that's going to be $2 bills. I'm going to try and get 5 $2 bills at the bank, and I'm collecting $2 bills as one savings for Little Bean, so that'll be 10. And then my me money, which is the 120 that I normally give. So 550 plus 140, 125. 10, 120, and that equals $945. I have $950 to go towards that. Now you may say, hey, you were given extra debt around here as well. Well, you might notice over here I wrote it in. It applies for both. Michael usually or is supposed to give me $50 every time he gets paid. That is not included in this. So if he gives me that money, that goes, some of that, if not all, will go towards extra debt. But I don't write that down until I get the money for sure. And then I'll do a transfer Tuesday for that. So that is how my budget will lay out now. Not a lot of changes. The biggest thing is high priority. Only 3 of these are coming out of now the bills account. The other 3 are coming out of variable. And I'm going to treat these high priority based on what I have left over. Property insurance subs will always get theirs, and Buffer gets anything that's left. So after I worked all of that out, I came over here to the budget. So this form that you're looking at now was from a digital planner that I had. One of the first digital planners that I downloaded. I actually had it saved in my documents on my laptop. I looked at the sheet and I figured out a way to print it at like 75 or 80%. Maybe this is even 50%. I cannot remember, to have it to fit into an A5 binder. So the wording is kind of small on here, but it's okay. It's not the main thing that I use. But I did want to talk through very quickly, and I'm going to go in a little bit and I'll just shuffle it around just so that you can see it a little bit better. But basically what you're looking at here is, this is the previous paycheck that I had, the one that I received on 11/29. Let's come over. Okay, the one that I received on 11/29. Here's all of the money. It came in as expected. So that was $24.05. As far as the bills are concerned, I did mortgage. I thought I did mortgage the way I was supposed to. We'll talk about it in a minute. Auto, I paid $300. Electric, $142. Verizon, I thought $148, but it was $133.70. AT&T, I thought $91, but it's $95.95. Anything you see in blue is the bomb. Anything you see in pink is a problem. That means I overpaid. Here, I did overpay for my mortgage by $20. I went and looked. I was supposed to send them $670. I sent them $690. So I needed to document that here. We went to Papa John's. We talked about that in the expense tracking video for $30. And then I had to buy these Alcovy Chorus tickets, and that was $44.70. So I anticipated paying $901 as far as the budget is concerned for bills. But I paid $986.35, and that was a difference of $85.35. All of my savings came in as expected, paid total of $315. Debt came in as expected, paid $115. Expenses at that time, this is the way I had them outlined. That came in as expected, $650. Sinking funds came out as expected, $350. When you look at my numbers and you put in everything, I thought I was going to be $74 under budget, but I ended up being $11.35 over budget. Now, what's key about this is none of my accounts reflect over budget at any amount. Nothing's negative. Remember, I told you guys I was moving a lot of money back and forth for my son and having to use my bills account and other accounts because I had run out of my transactions available on my high yield savings account. So I don't know. I have, this is saying I should be $11 over budget, like I should be negative. I still got $60 sitting in my account. I don't know why. And I'm sure it has something to do with that, but we've already talked about the plan that I have around trying to address that. So coming in, my 12, 13, 24 paycheck. This is what it's going to look like. So I'm not going to put here any rollover, because I might find out that the money that's in these accounts is supposed to be someplace else. And I was doing a lot of moving and shaking, and I didn't move and shake all of what I was supposed to. So I don't want to count on that money because it may belong someplace else. So I'm expecting $13.75 to be put into my bills account, $9.50 in my variable account. Micah should give me $50, and that's going to be a total of $23.75 that I'll be working with. Mortgage, $335. Auto, I'm only paying $100, which we talked about over here on this side over here. Can I put everything in the camera at the same time? Let's try that. The auto, nail net $45, water $40. So that's going to be a total of $520. As far as my savings is concerned, I'm going to give $25 to emergency. I just paid my class dues out of the last paycheck. So this paycheck is for emergency. Emergency $140 for Monday Mini. I put $110 for the envelope challenge, and I think that's supposed to be $100. Let me look at it from, I'm going to leave that $110 for right now, but I have over here $100. I don't have any extra. 10 for Little Bean. Nope, that's got to be $100. Because you guys saw, even when I added everything together, it was totaled $945. I don't have an extra 10. So that needs to be $100. So 25, 140, 100, and 10 equals 275. Just wanted to be sure that I didn't write the wrong thing, but still have the right total. 275 is there. Okay. All right, so that's $275. Green Sky, y'all, they don't even have enough space for all the debt I got. Green Sky $90, Best Buy $50, City Card I'm gonna pay $200. Yes. Rooms to Go $100, Kohl's $50. That's gonna be a total of $490 there. Next is the expenses, variable expenses, $220 for groceries, $80 for gas, home $60, dining $60, meds $50, Corinne gets $40, and I get my me money at $120. That's going to be a total of $630. As far as my sinking funds, the 3 that will come out of the bills account, buffer, subs, and property insurance, are notated here. The 2 that are going to come out of my variable account, I just left some space in between, and that tells me that these are going to be treated differently. So the bonus kids 20 and Xerxes 20. The total of everything is $390. Where this money pulls from is going to be different. And so I'm going to do something similar to what I normally do. I think I usually put dots there. Put a dot there, and that just lets me know that that's where that money is coming from, like that. So instead of coloring the whole thing in. All right, so those are all associated with the bills account. And then let me get another one. Let's get blue to make sure it looks different. So these, and these, and that. All right, so basically this blue denotes which ones will be coming out of that account. Because that's the way I have to look at it, is which ones, which account is responsible for what, and that's what makes sense for me. So this 24 bonus kids, this 24 Xerxes, that adds up to $390 total. And then here are my numbers down here. So I need to change this one because it says 285. And that should say 275. That's kind of messy. These lines really are small, y'all. All right, so minus 275. All right, so that is 2375 minus 275, 520, 490, 390, 630. And that now leaves $70 instead of $60. So right now it's saying I'm going to be under budget by $70. All right. And now the wait is on. Let's wait and see if that's how it ends up being. So we shall see. Again, new way of looking at my budget overall and where money is pulling from. New sheet to help denote that, looking a little bit different for right now. And then I've got new budget categories and a new way to track my expenses. So we're just doing new things going into 2025. All right. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.